I am Turch. And with me, as always, is my co-host, the CEO. It's Kieran. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing well, and I have to a bit of an apology to the listeners. I think there's a banned word in this podcast.
Yeah.
But I think with our current lockdowns, going in and out of lockdowns, it's sort of thrown us a little bit.
It has thrown us.
But anyway, we're back. We're back. We're doing the podcast, and we're glad that you can tune in and enjoy the next hour of silly fart jokes.
It seems like that's really the case across the board for many content creators. I'll talk us up a little bit, Kieran, because I've been busy in the background. I was just on the Dalvin Cox Experience, which is an American podcaster from Florida. And as our people here, our listeners may or may not know, Florida has no restrictions when it comes to COVID. I mean, they're like 50 or 60% vaccinated.
Freedom.
Complete freedom, like basically no masks or anything like that. And Delvin, I was telling him a little bit via social media about the situation here in Victoria, at least. And he was fascinated. So I came on the show just to talk about some of the craziness that's been happening here with all the timelines to the best of my knowledge and the best of my ability. And then last night, spoiler warning, we don't record these on the day that they're released. A bit of behind the scenes action here, but last night I was the guest host on Bar Talk on AMR with Dan again, so I got to listen to some. So we have been doing other things within the podcasting realm, just not our own show, because
just not our own podcast.
It's very difficult. I've really realized more than anything else that it's very difficult to get angry at things that, one, aren't COVID related, and bring it to the show, especially when we try not to talk about it much at all. And two, when you don't do anything except go.
I know. I've literally got nothing.
It's and that's the thing. I think we're both in the agreement of this, that we'd rather do the show when we have material to talk about and yell about than to have basically nothing across the board. But the good news is this week we've got at least some news to talk about. I've got a couple of rants, and then I thought we'd go through and listen to some stand-up comedy and critique it, because
brilliant.
One thing we've always wanted to do is do our own stand-up show, or at least a live show of the podcast. And I think we can just practice by learning from other people. But before we get to the reviewing of the comedy special, I'd like to talk about...
All right, shut up. Excellent, but I'm going to interrupt you because I've got some breaking news. And I think you're really going to enjoy this.
Excellent.
Turch, I've been on this fitness journey.
You have been on this fitness journey.
Which has been over a year. And as part of that, I have been told by a few people that I snore.
Yeah.
And at one point, I even farted in the middle of the night and woke myself up. I'm not sure if I've explained this. I was in Vietnam. And if you're playing bingo at home, there you go, tick it off. I've already talked about Vietnam. And I was asleep, sharing rooms and all of that. And one night I fell asleep, and then I had farted, waking myself up, and I'm going, oh, what's going on? Anyway, I've been told I snore, so I've downloaded this thing on my phone called Snore Lab, and every now and then I take a sort of recording of my snoring, and I'm wanting to know, the fitter I get, do I snore less? Which the answer is yes.
Well, that's good.
And I did it the other night, right? And here's just a taster of what to expect.
It's not as bad as it probably has been.
It used to be a lot worse. But I'm looking at the data, and I've got this spike. And I'm like, why do I have this spike? What's going on here?
Oh
Do you
my
know how excited? Because nothing's happened in my life. Do you know how excited I was? I fucking wake up in the morning. I ran out to the kitchen and there's a housemate. I'm like, you gotta fucking listen to this.
You need to send me that audio. I don't know how you're gonna do it. Gotta send it to me. You know what I did? I talked to my GP ages ago, and I'm doing the health kick. So I went to your dietitian. The other thing was hey, I snort, and I suffer from bad nasal passages passed down from my dad, all that sort of thing. And he's like, oh well, what we'll do is we'll do a sleep apnea test. So I went the questionnaire, and I was actually quite low on the questionnaire. And they're like, oh, you can still do it. So I call, the place calls me up and it's like, oh, look, you're not, even though your doctor has said we want to get a sleep apnea test done, because you're not high enough on the scale, you have to pay for it. And I'm like, otherwise it was free, government free, Medicare covered or I'm like, oh, okay, well, how much is it? And I'll decide, And they're like, the test is going to be $700.
Oh, this is one of those sleep tests where you sleep at the place.
Well, they bring it to the equipment to your house now.
Oh, they bring it to your house. Okay, well, that's even better.
And so I said, look, I'll have to think about it because $700 for a very mild case of potential sleep apnea. Look, I'm willing to wait it out until it gets a little bit worse, and I'll just try and lose weight and go for a run. But my nasal passages have just been the worst thing since sliced bread, sort of. That's what the saying is. But it's the worst thing.
Oh, I know. I've been to Phillip Island. I've heard you.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad. And if I drink, I snore louder. But even at my fittest, 10 years ago, when I was my fittest, running every day, gym sessions, playing soccer, not having full time work, I was even snoring back then. I've got just a test to that. But
oh well, good on you. But I bet you've never recorded one of these.
That's amazing. I'm very impressed. Well, I got two rants. I got two rants.
Fart jokes. I told everyone. I warned them. It was fart jokes today.
It's true. You guys, I don't know if you fellas do that at the old house over there, but when Jess and I go grocery shopping, we just, especially now with this COVID crap, the last thing I want to do is go to the supermarket every day or every second day to buy stuff, because that just means I'm probably going to have to, be around more people, more potentially sick people, and get more tests and be tier 1 and potentially have to isolate like you fellas had to. And I want to try to avoid that as much. So we do one day a week. We go in and do all the grocery shopping. So, we have a full trolley full of stuff, and Jess and I for the week, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, and all that sort of fun stuff. And they've gone. Have you noticed that fruit and veg has gotten really expensive over these lockdowns? Very annoying.
No, because I just pay. I never really.
You don't worry about these things.
I turn up. I don't worry about these things. I turn up. I grab a few things and then I leave. Yeah. Because I go for a morning walk every day. Yeah. I'm sort of like, what am I going to eat today or tomorrow? I'm never thinking a week ahead, Turch.
That's fair enough. I think because we're just let's just get it done. So we do all that sort of thing. Anyways, we have a full trolley full of stuff. We've got our, you have to bring your own plastic bags to the supermarket these days. So, when we start to put things on the conveyor belt, because if you've got a full shopping trolley, you don't go through the self-serve. That's just ridiculous. So we're going through a person there, and then we put our plastic, our bags first, and then Jess and I put things on the conveyor belt that are alike, right? So you put your things for the cold bag all together. And then your fruit and veg all together, and then your cleaning products, and then your things in boxes like crackers or chips.
And that's very smart. What I do, because it's generally just one bag, the heavy items go at the front. Yeah. And the lighter so when you're packing your bag, it's not too. You get the heavy items. Yeah. And then you put the. What I don't understand is how do they miss the fact that I've very logically ordered this, and I get a light item in front of my heavy item.
This is what I was about to discuss. So we specifically do this on, it's put all our fruit and vegetables together, and we put our, stuff at the pantry together. And
Because they used to. When they used to pack it for us, they used to organise it like that.
Yeah,
That's how they were trained.
Exactly right. And I'm like, I'll do it myself. Just to help them out. It's very easy. Like, I even sort of make a little, like, the conveyor belt moves. You put a little brake and go, yeah, put these together. This woman that we had packing our shopping was just like
Woman
things were
or
all
girl?
over the place. All over the place. She was like 18, 19. All over the place when it came to packing the shopping bags full of groceries. Like, one bag had fruit. It also had some stuff for the bathroom and like under the sink cleaning products.
Oh.
I'm like, what bag is this?
Oh, so
Like, what are you doing? Like, if this is how she packs a suitcase, she's got underpants on, and then like her toothbrush next to it, and then she's got her passport in the bag underneath a pair of jeans. It's like, none of this makes sense. Logical, and not only that, it was given to her literally on a silver platter of how we wanted it, and yet she still stuffed it up. I don't understand.
I don't understand either. It's not that hard. It's not that.
But
You grab the item.
yeah, and you put it in the bag.
Yeah.
And you try to go, oh yeah, these look like I. You know what though? And I think it goes back to something you kind of said, like, was it a girl or was it a woman? Like, what age group? And I think there is something to that. I think the older...
There's no life experience there. There's no life experience. No. She has not faced the consequences of a not well-packed bag.
No, that's right. And I think what at the older of a checkout chick that you have, checkout person, whatever, customer service attendant.
We've got to bring back the tipping culture in this country.
No, tipping culture is ridiculous. I completely disagree.
Reduce their salaries.
No, because not even in America you don't tip the people at the. What they need to bring back the bag packer.
Isn't that the scanner's job?
No, because remember back in the day, there's still spaces for this at supermarkets. There's a person scanning, and then there's a big space there for the person to pack your bag for you. And that's why we pay a premium, like at Coles or Woolworths, compared to Aldi. Aldi, they just scan it all
I want them to take it out to my car.
It should be a full service.
A full service, full premium service. That's what it should be.
I agree.
No, lack of life experience. This poor 18, 19-year-old shopper person hasn't had the luxury of travelling overseas yet. She hasn't had the luxury of packing her passport right down the bottom of her bag
and learning the hard way.
That you don't do that.
Well, let's continue on, because this is just a person that it's pretty low salary. I mean, it's basically minimum wage, just over minimum wage. Look, they're doing a very simplistic job. And I understand, you're probably 19, 20, 18, you don't give a shit. I completely understand, but still, bit stupid. Let's talk about another group of people that...
Did you complain? I think you need to write a letter.
I'm not a letter.
I think our listeners want you to write a letter.
I'm a ranting on a podcast type of guy rather
to complain.
Than a letter man.
I think you need to take it to the CEO.
Okay.
I think you need to follow up on this.
Well, look, I'm going to use this...
Because I complained last night about my Uber Eats, right?
Yeah.
I'd finished my online workout thing, right? And I went, and this new thing had popped up, and I could get a salad bowl. And I was like, oh, this is brilliant. Not fast food. I can get like a chicken salad bowl. I was like, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna be healthy. This is amazing. It's like 8:30 at night. I'm starving, and I can't be bothered. I've just done a HIIT workout, which are fucking killers. Yeah. Right. So I'm following it, and it's like 9:10, and I was like, oh well, I better, like, what's happening with my food? I better check in. And it's still being, Uber driver is on his way. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. 10 minutes go past. I haven't had an update saying it's like been collected. It's just around the corner. Like, what's going on? and I'm watching it. 5 different Uber drivers were sent to pick this item up.
Oh.
And I'm going, okay, so I end up got him help button and complaining, and I'm saying orders late, or whatever it is. And I finally get to speak to a robot, and the robot, I keep complaining, and the robot then takes me to an actual person.
Yeah.
And that actual person, they've just got pre-recorded bits that they put in the chat. And I was like, I know your game. And so I was complaining, and I was like, no, my order's late. It's well past the time. 5 drivers have been sent. Oh, we can't tell you about the driver because of the blah, blah, blah policy. But I'm like, 5 drivers have been sent. You should be able to see that. Something is not right. And, oh, no, you can't cancel it because your order is prepared and your Uber driver is at the restaurant. Mm-hmm. Anyway, my bloody Uber driver legend cancelled it.
How disappointing. You had to make your own food.
Very, very
disappointing. You had to make your own food.
Well, anyway, I ordered Uber Eats again. With what was left, because I was fucking starving at this point. And the same Uber driver that cancelled it went and got my new order.
The circle
but he had to drive
life.
15.
The circle of
He had to
life.
drive 15 minutes to another location. So,
well, that's you should
Anyway.
have just done the right thing in the first place. Speaking of people who aren't,
don't order. Look, the trick: don't order healthy food from Uber Eats. It doesn't work.
it's true. Just make it yourself. It's a lot cheaper and easier, and you can have it whenever you want. Speaking of people who don't like people who don't like doing their jobs, and I've talked about these. There's 2 groups of people in the world that I think hate their jobs more than anybody else.
Government employees and.
Well, that sort of covers both the ones I was talking about. It's teachers and nurses. Nobody hates their job more than these 2 groups of people, and yet they specifically choose to go into these 2 professions. And I don't understand why they do that, because no one has complained more and received more during this COVID pandemic than teachers and nurses. Teachers and nurses in this country are considered essential workers more than anybody else. And that's fair. So they've been given I think they've been given subtle tax breaks. They've definitely been given free childcare. They get to, definitely go into work. They get, they're comping parking at certain places. So they're
I'm sorry, any profession where you get 12 weeks annual leave, for free.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you don't get to complain about working extra hours.
No, that's right.
Monday to Friday
it's a pretty
for
normal,
a couple of weeks.
It's a pretty normal thing. Most of us get 4 weeks off, and look, you can't choose when you take your time off, but everyone works around when you take your time off.
Yeah.
Across the board, it's you're the issue across the board. And nurses are kind of the same, because they just oh, well, look, I saved up 400 RTOs or whatever RDOs, and I'll just take them all at the same time. But I've been watching the press conferences basically every day or every second day at least. And what they've been doing recently, the Premier of both states, of both Sydney and Victoria, has been coming out, and it's we don't want, our nurses and doctors have been working really hard. I'm like, okay, that's fair. I guess so. I mean, it's kind of their job. To say that they're working hard would mean they're going above and beyond, I would assume.
Well, I mean, I'll put it this way. When my sister's been doing the COVID swabbing thing as a nurse, they're 12-hour shifts.
Mm. But nurses sometimes do 12-hour shifts or 10-hour shifts.
I was just like, wow, that's 12-hour shifts on your feet. That's pretty. But that's pretty intense.
But a heart surgeon would stand up and do surgery for 8 hours. And that's
actually, heart surgeon probably does more.
Exactly right. And it's just their job. No one goes, oh, well, they're working very hard. So, no, well, that's just their job. You expect them to do that. And this is the thing. Our hospitals are...
Yeah, and I expect a heart surgeon after a surgery to come visit their patient the next morning at 6 a.m, regardless if they finished at midnight.
That's right.
From someone else's surgery. Mm.
And it's across the board, right? I don't understand, Australia, especially the all the hospitals in Victoria, even at the height of this pandemic, have never been anywhere close to being full of just COVID patients, right? The issue that they're having at the moment across the board is regular old people being in ICU and taking up hospital beds and slowly dying. And we don't really have too many people. Like, yeah, we've got a handful of people being sick, nothing out of the ordinary compared to what we have with the flu, right? Whatever. But then they go on and the Premier like vouches for them. We don't want them to work any harder. They've already done such a good job. You know, it's really sad they've got to work so hard. I'm like, bitch, they chose to become a nurse. If they didn't like the job, they can actually leave any time that they want. I don't, like, you know, if I didn't like my job now, I'd be like, oh, I'm looking for a new job. And I would just like, but no nurse ever goes, like, and no teacher. Like, my mum's been a teacher for 30 years, 35 years, right? And she'll come home and be like, oh, like, I remember even as a kid, even now, she goes, oh, I've had a real shit day, this and that. Everyone fucking stupid, blah, blah. Well, Mum, if you don't like your job, just find something else you're interested in. You've got lots of transferable skills, management skills, people skills. You can write, you know, if you really wanted to, you can write writing courses for adults in business, and you would work half as much and have an audience listening to you that actually wants to be there. Like, it... You know, it's very simple. And then she's like, no, I really love my job. I'm like, well, if you love your job, I can understand you having a bad day, but this has been like 30 years of this that I've been alive and understanding about.
So it's not been a one-off.
No, it's not a one-off. And it's the same for these nurses, right? Nurses...
It's a consistent pattern every night.
It's like, oh, we have to work so hard now that COVID's around. Like, well, if you weren't working hard before, what the fuck were you doing? Like, oh, sorry, there's a pandemic and suddenly it's too busy for you and you're complaining. No, you work in the medical profession. You know,
you raise an interesting point. I don't hear the doctors saying that they're working very hard.
No,
it's the nurses.
Just the nurses. Yeah. It's like accountants going, "Oh, well, it's end of financial year time. Fucking hell, am I working a lot? I have to work more hours because we've got so much more work." They go, "No, we know how. You know, it's a pandemic. They know they're going to have to work more and longer hours. They understand it, but they get paid for it." An accountant knows at the end of financial year, there's going to be more work to happen. You know what? When you start building a building, you've got lots more work to do than when you're just going through a design phase. It's all, they're the exact same sort of thing, except they just don't know how to handle a little bit of extra work. And it doesn't even seem, from every nurse that I know, and we know a nurse, we know a male nurse, a female nurse, we've got family members that are nurses. They still get home on time. Like, they still get paid for the time. They still choose. Like, even your sister seems to be still choosing to do that. If she didn't want to, she didn't.
Oh, well, she's got a Monday to Friday job. And you'll love this, Turch. Because it's like, why are you doing the swabbing? She's like, oh, it's actually easy work. No, she goes, it's interesting because she goes, a 12-hour shift is a long shift to be on your feet.
Yeah.
But they providing meals. They don't have to provide their own meals. Meals are provided. And just the Saturday Sunday pay is amazing.
Of course it is. It's like double time and a half. It's
and
one
then
thing,
she said,
it's one thing,
and she also said at the testing sites, the doctors and the nurses and everyone, you're actually separated. You can't cross-contaminate.
Yeah, of course.
And so everyone knows their job. So everyone has a specific job and they do that job.
It's a conveyor belt. And so it's just in and out.
Yeah. But she just said her complaint is just standing for 12 hours when your body's not used to standing for 12 hours.
But that's...
you get home and your body's sore. And so that's why she only does one shift a week.
Yeah. But that's her choice. She can say no.
She needs a day to recover.
Yeah. But she can say no at any time, just like many of these doctors and
nurses. Oh, she can, yeah.
You know, and I'm not even going to bring up the fact that some of these doctors and nurses don't want to take the COVID vaccine, but they're required to for work now. Like, I think it's really wrong that that's happening. You know, if you don't want a vaccine or...
You libertarian, you.
I know! It's such a crazy thing of like, I want to decide a non-vital vaccine. Like, these doctors aren't saying, I don't want any vaccines at all. They're just saying, I'm not really interested in taking the COVID one. I'm sure they've got the polio one. I'm sure they've got the one for the measles and the ones like, it's like, hey, I'm just not really interested in this COVID one. And they might lose their jobs from that. And that's really disgusting to hear. I mean, I'm so glad like the labour unions, like the builders union across the board is pushing back. They've said, you don't have to be jabbed to go on a site, because that's people's choices. But the fact that they're complaining so much and still getting paid so much to do a whole bunch of things, I will never understand. And I think, I can't wait to see more TikTok dances of nurses when they're so busy at work doing TikTok dances in the lobby.
You raised some very, very interesting points there, Turch.
Just do your job. Like, shut up and do your job. Your job doesn't make you who you are. Like nurses and teachers are just like, all I am is a nurse and teacher. I don't, if someone goes to me, what do you do? It's like, I work within the government space, but I play music, I run a podcast, and, and I like to run outside. Nurses and teachers like, I'm a nurse or I'm a teacher. It's like, well, I know what type of person you are now, and I don't want to talk to you for the rest of the night. So thank you for coming. Like, have you ever heard someone in your profession, like outside of work, and go absolutely?
People ask me
themselves?
what. Yeah, people ask me what I do, and I'm like, I'm not really sure. I do some stuff, I guess.
I lecture at a university, but I like running. I run a podcast. Really like exercise. I'm really into movies. You know what I mean? Like, that's what defines you as a person, not your
I've got to
job.
admit, when I meet new people and I go, I'm not really sure. I guess I do a few things. You can either tell that they're like, I don't want to listen to this person because he's a loser.
Yeah.
Or okay, he's pulling my leg. But when they're like, it's so fucking funny because when they're just like, this guy's a bit of a loser, and then later on they find out like I'm a lecturer at a university, it's like, oh shit, you're actually pretty smart.
Yeah. Wait, you're an accountant?
And it's like
what the hell?
yeah, and it's just, and then it's so much fun.
It's
and then it's like, it must be blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't know, it's a job.
Yeah.
I also run a podcast.
That's it. That's
and
where we are.
we interviewed this guy who's into adult baby diapers, and then they're like, you are a fucking weirdo.
Infinitely
like,
more interesting. If someone said that to me, we didn't have this podcast, and someone else said, I run this podcast. What's it about? We interviewed this guy that was like into adult baby diapers, and we interviewed a fairy and a flat earth guy tried to convince us. I would be like, I'm in 100%.
Yeah.
But we're a very small minority, and the smaller the minority we are, the more government benefits we get. So what can I say? There's no support out there for us podcasters. There's no support for us podcasters. Kieran, do you have any news?
There is. I do.
What do you got for me?
I had a heart attack. I didn't actually have a heart attack, but I went, fuck. China to ban kids from playing online games for more than 3 hours per week.
Oh, geez, that's almost as much exercise as we're allowed to do outside. Did you? I don't know if you saw today, so I'm going to bring it back up. The Premier today said, on the 23rd of September, so in like 3 weeks, you might be able to go outside and do exercise for 3 hours. And I'm like, bitch, that man has never exercised. Like, think about it. If I go to the gym and do an hour gym session and then go for a run for half an hour, let's just say I even push it and do a 45-minute run. That's like running like 7 or 8 Ks. Yeah. Right? 6 or 7, 8 Ks, right? And then do an hour gym session. That is less than 2 hours. And if you can do more exercise after that, you are either training for a marathon or you are unemployed or you're a personal trainer. Like, there's not many people who can comfortably do 3 hours of exercise a day.
Well, Turch, I'm actually feeling very, very, very safe. My family is shocked that I live in the West.
Yeah.
They think, how does a person of high society move out into the western suburbs?
Uber Eats is the answer.
And my response to them has been, the town that I live in, no cases.
Yeah.
There have been no cases of COVID.
There you go.
And there's a few reasons of this, Turch.
No one goes
Number
there.
one, because Laverton is a hole. It is not a destination. Number two, everyone out here is unemployed.
Mm-hmm. So they're
And
not
number
getting
3, they're
tested.
probably so illiterate that they're not getting tested.
Yeah, probably.
So it is the safest place in Victoria right now.
I'm very proud of you. You beat
And I'm just
Shepparton
sure
with the
everyone
unemployment
heard-
rate.
Yep. And I'm sure everyone in Leverton just heard we can exercise for 3 hours meant that we can drink in the park 1 extra hour.
Can't wait. I'll when I
Yeah.
can drive out more than 5 kilometers from my house, I will join you. So
China to ban kids from playing online games for more than 3 hours per week.
How do you monitor that?
If you're under 18, you're fucked. Well, this is why I had the heart attack, because I've got some shares with Tencent, which is one of the largest gaming companies in the world. And that came out and I went, oh fuck. Like I'm going to lose some money here. Like this is bad. Anyway, Tencent's market is mainly adults.
Yeah, would be.
Kids only make up 2.7% of Tencent's actual market. So I was like, whatever. But no, they used face technology, the Face ID technology,
Yeah.
to determine if it's a child. And then that's how they limit them with their technology, because they're already banned from playing between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Oh, sorry, 8 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Wow.
That's already a ban that's happened in China.
That's a really limited amount of time. It's almost as bad as the curfew here.
Yeah. So, but now only 3 hours a week. So the rules will apply to companies providing online game services to minors. So they're the ones that are going to be fined. So they have to figure out a way to make sure that kids aren't playing. And basically, China went, we know what's happening to America and the rest of the world. We're not going to have fat kids.
So the Chinese government, who created the virus, had the worst thing ever. Wuhan's back to normal. Everyone could go back. Now they're going, you know what we need to fight next? Obesity. They are more proactive than any government I've ever seen. Look, yes, you might get rated by your fellow colleagues and family members on an app, and that rates you as a citizen of your country. But god damn it, they're not going to have any fat, apart from sumo wrestlers. Or that's Japanese. They're not going to even have sumo wrestlers. They're just going to have a skinny, hard-working, manufacturing base, and then take over the world slowly. It's pretty amazing though. Like, so America's obviously got the biggest army, and then it's the Taliban, and then it's China. And I think with a bit of hard work, they can they can actually catch up to the Taliban.
Yeah. So Beijing is very worried about gaming addiction amongst the country's youth. Mm-hmm. Gaming consoles were banned for around 14 years until 2014.
There you go.
Isn't that amazing?
It's pretty amazing. It's a good thing and a bad thing, I guess. I mean, look, I'm all for liberty, so I don't really care. It's your responsibility to take care of your own child, and I'm sure my view on that will change once I have children. Most likely not, because
yeah.
It's always
you will change, because it will be whatever Jess wants.
Yeah, pretty much. It's always crazy to me because people go, socialism is bad, capitalism. Socialism is great, capitalism is bad, and all that sort of thing. And I always think to myself, you know what?
Once again, if you're playing bingo, cross it off.
Yeah, cross it off. I always thought to myself, you know what? I'm always interested in these sort of discussions, because then I just go back to and talk to my nonno, right, who grew up in Italy during, as a child in socialism and stuff like that. And obviously his grandparents did and his family did and all that sort of stuff. And he's just like, it was the reason why we left the country was because we couldn't do anything to make our lives better under those rules. And we came somewhere where we could. And the people in these countries can't do anything to make their lives better. But look, maybe we have to move out of Australia, because I can't do anything that I need to do to make my life.
I really want to move. I really want to move to America at the moment.
Mate, talking to Delvin Cox, going to Florida just sounds like a fantastic time. Just smashing it out that way there. Oh, I've got a quick news, and then we'll listen to some bad stand-up comedy. How about that?
I've got a few more articles as well.
Oh, well, how about you do a whip around there? Because I'll just do
All right. Let me do a quick whip around. Study claims eating a hot dog could take 36 minutes off your life.
I heard that.
And eating nuts could add 26 minutes.
Add 26 minutes.
So there you go.
What if you
Trump is...
He's back. Is he back?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Trump is back. A school in Arizona had to close because they had quite a number of COVID cases after a Trump rally. But Trump is back. He went around to 29 different schools, and he's starting to rally again.
Look, I think you posted something like you think he's going to be back in 2024. I don't think he's going to be the pick of the Republican Party, but I think he'll try.
He doesn't have to be the pick because he can campaign.
That's right,
and he can win the votes.
That's right.
Like, why do you have to be the pick? He wasn't the pick last time, and he won.
But you know what? What he needs to do is do the Republican thing for a little bit, and then go, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm going independent. I'm going Libertarian Party or something like that. And he will get all he needs is 5%, and he gets to join them on stage during the debate. So instead of a 2-party debate, it's like a 3-party debate. And he can just rip on both sides at the same time. And that's what we need. And for people to go, actually, this guy is right in the fucking center, That's what we need in this world, I think. And and then
oh my god, could you just imagine that? That would be
that's what we want. If Trump did anything good in this world, it was to get more people aware of politics, both for the good and both for the good and bad. But he really he needs to show that the division is not because of him. He's in the middle and just pointing out the division. And why he needs to be independent, like a Libertarian Party or whatever it is. I mean, Gary Johnson got 1 or 2% of the vote when he, it was like 2016 or whatever it was. So Trump must have enough support to get like 5 or 6, so that way the party gets enough cash, and then he can be in the debate.
Fucking brilliant. I would love that. I would just love him to be able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, that's what he
at the same time.
He just needs that. He goes, I was in the Republican Party. I did it. It was not good. It was bad. They're still going to be bad. Like, he can do that.
There's bad hombres in the Republican Party.
Sleepy Joe.
There's bad hombres.
So he can look at this though. Remember, my mum got me that Trumpisms daily calendar.
Trumpisms, yes.
I saved one. How's this? So this is from 2019, March 2019. Joe Biden from Twitter. When he was on Twitter. Joe Biden got tongue-tied over the weekend when he was unable to properly deliver a very simple line about his decision to run for president. Get used to it, another low IQ individual. And I'm just thinking to myself, I just saw Joe Biden fall asleep with like the Israeli president. I don't know if you saw that video. And then he's not answering questions unless they were already like selected for him. And he's really made a mess of this whole Afghanistan thing. People have got to have a lot of regrets.
He's made such a mess of the Afghanistan thing where I know people are sort of saying, look, because he's a one-term president, he can do this. He can finally withdraw the troops. But he's made such a mess of it. Mm. The Republican Party, and this is where I just go, someone like Trump just goes, perfect. We can paint him with cognitive decline, terrible decisions.
Yeah, for sure.
On the United States. You need me back. You need me back to fix this.
Yeah. Yeah. We need him out and done.
Yeah.
You got any more news for us?
Yeah, I do. 2 more articles,
go for it.
Mr. Turch. Harvard University's new chief chaplain is an atheist.
I did see that. Interesting.
Very, very, very interesting. Good on him.
Yeah.
And the last one. Parents ordered to pay a 43-year-old son $30,000 after getting rid of his pornography collection. David launched a lawsuit against his parents in 2019 after they threw out his pornography collection. I feel like I may have brought this in, or a similar story before, which includes... oh, shit, sorry. Which includes tapes... which includes tapes such as Lesbians in Tight Shorts and University Co-eds 25. How good is that?
My favourite thing about this is that when they have to go to court, and he would almost have to... Like, how did you come up with the figure of $30,000? And he would have had to list out what he had. So that means to me he's catalogued this in some way that he can show, hey, they threw out all of this sort of stuff. Like, it's not like it's like anything. You go, oh, what did you have? Well, I had a Ferrari. Or do you have at least a picture of you in the Ferrari, or like the rego number? And so, oh yeah, like no, you don't need that. You just need to no. You need to actually have some sort of evidence that you had something. Otherwise, you didn't. It's a very, very simple sort of thing. I got one article. I'll go very quickly, right? A blind woman calls for the adult industry to be more inclusive. Now, that headline got me...
Isn't it pretty inclusive already?
I was going to say, I don't think there's any other industry that's more inclusive than the sex industry, or the adult industry, because people will fuck anything. And there's a market for it. I mean, people like fucking feet,
It's one of the oldest markets in the world.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
A Perth sex blogger has revealed that her bedroom-related questions caught her off guard since she began documenting her intimate experiences. She describes herself as kinky and sex-obsessed, but she's blind, born with glaucoma, and she can't see, obviously. And the first time encountering things like this online, it's like, so as a blind person, you don't have any sexual feelings, right? Someone said to her. The 40-year-old said she was shocked by the question, largely because it simply wasn't true. And I'm like, does anyone actually think that? To think that people without sight has no sexual wants or desires? I would say they're just a regular person that just wants to live their life. And this idiot asking this person's really stupid.
Yeah, that guy's pretty stupid.
It seems pretty stupid. But I've got to put it out there. The woman, they took a photo of the woman for the article. Mm-hmm. And she's obviously blind and this and that. And look, I'm going to put it out there. She's not very much of a looker. I wouldn't consider her... you wouldn't see a thumbnail of the porn of her on a Pornhub site and go, you know what? I would say most men and even women would go, that's probably not my cup of tea. I don't really like 40-year-old Susan Boyle looking women. It's not really the what people are looking for within their sexual prowess more than anything else. And I'm like, maybe that's the reason why you haven't been invited to it as much, because people want a certain kind of look when it comes into their pornography. But then again, she couldn't see that coming.
I think, yeah. Blinks.
Alright. I'm loading this up right now. The important thing at the moment is stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put
Alright, I'm looking forward to this.
Because I found this video. So this is a video of this woman named Megan Stalter. And she's a young comedian. But she got a spot on HBO Max, like a live show that they did in the US, HBO Max. And they filmed it and they put it up somewhere, and they obviously put it on YouTube. I've downloaded it. We're going to watch it. And I watched about a few minutes of it, and I was like, this is amazing. I have to show Kieran. And in the meantime, I thought, maybe it's just me that thinks it's really terrible. I have to show Jess. And Jess, after a certain amount of time, said, "Stop it! I can't watch this anymore." And I'm like, "Why is that?" Because it's not funny. It's just actually the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And I go, "How long?"
Is this what we call in the industry bombing?
Yeah, yeah. And I go to Jess, "How long do you
Okay.
think you've watched this video for?" It's a 15-minute video, And she goes, "I don't know, like 8 or 9 minutes." And I go, "You've watched just on 2 minutes."
Shit.
So I'm just gonna let it play. Everyone can listen to it, and we can enjoy. Here we go.
All right. I'm looking forward to this.
Zoom in. Zoom in. Hi! Hey guys! Oh my god, everyone's here. Casey! Oh my god, you came. Barnes and Noble. Get a shot at Barnes and Noble. Hi. Oh my god, it's creaky. Everyone's here. Oh my god. No, that's not funny. Cut that. And by the way, you guys are on camera. Get comfortable.
Just let me know when you need me to stop it, Kieran.
Don't talk into the mic, though. Don't talk into the mic. Where are you from? No, I'm kidding.
Okay, stop.
Okay, now I'm getting on stage.
You've watched 57 seconds.
This is a person who has done no preparation.
It's
This
pretty
is
amazing.
a person. Okay, when you do, I don't look. My goal, my dream, and I'm not working towards it, but I'd love to be a stand-up comedian.
Mm.
But when you do stand-up comedy, you start off at a small gig and you do like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, right? And you go, "Oh shit! Well, that 3 minutes didn't quite work. Change your jokes. You go back up another night. You do another 3 minutes or 2 minutes, and you sort of you work on the 3 minutes. That's your task when you're starting out as a stand-up comedian. Work on your 3 minutes, which is really you're working on your opening to your show.
Yeah.
Because you want a solid 3 minutes.
The first couple of minutes of any show, it has to be the super hard hitting, punchy, and then you can start to bring it down. But you got to capture people instantly.
Yeah. You need to win them over, and then over time you sort of build like another 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then like another 3 minutes. And then sort of once you've got that, then you can actually probably expand into a story.
Yeah.
And making the story funny and entertaining and getting things back. And so as a comedian, to get to 15 minutes means you've got a pretty solid routine that you've built up.
Yeah.
And you can probably chop and change it a little bit depending on the crowd and tweaking some of the jokes and that. But you've got the format in your head.
Yeah. You know what you want to say.
Like, we come in, we talk, we laugh, we do a rant, we move into some news articles, we critique something. We know the formula, right? We know the formula.
The structure. A little bit of structure behind what you want to say, what you're going to do. And then you let, like this is more free flowing. But if we would try to script something, it would be like you would go, all right, we haven't had a joke in 3 lines. Something has to come in here. And we have to.
I've been working on your wedding speech.
Yeah.
And all right, and I'm going to give one that hasn't made the final cut.
Yeah.
But I think you'll be very proud.
Yeah.
I think you'll be very proud of. It's called Turch's roast. There we go.
COVID.
So here we go. That's right. They met the height requirements for this joke.
Simple, effective. Because that's probably
Yeah.
punching
And
off another joke. And that just doubles the pleasure.
Yeah. Or that was also going to be my sort of like a filler if I didn't actually get a laugh.
Yeah. Perfect.
You've
got it's a backup.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. Look, or something like at least half of you consider an economy and feel like it's business class.
Yeah. it's a joke about something that we can't change physically, and
Thank God they got a dog proportional to their size.
Tweezer's
Right,
beautiful.
I've been working on these, Turch. I've been working on
And
these.
all you've got is 3 minutes. You've got 3 minutes to sort of come up, and already you're better than this woman here. And all you're doing is you're not even doing a comedy thing. You're writing a best man speech.
I know. I haven't even got to the accounting jokes.
Oh, look, how about we keep going with this?
Sorry.
There's so much to watch.
So she has not nailed.
Anything.
She has not nailed the opening.
Well, look, how about, I think she's going to start saying some jokes. Let's have a look. I like at the start, though,
Okay.
she does have 2 fingers like this and sticks her tongue out. She's like, zoom in here, telling the cameraman what to do. That's what she was doing,
don't
by
tell
the
the
way.
cameraman what to do.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Don't tell the cameraman what to do. Okay.
Guys, I'm so excited to be here at HBO. Thank you for coming. I'm so excited to be here at HBO. Human Pride by Orientation. Hey, thanks for guys. I told you not to come. I literally did.
Is she
Sorry,
drunk?
that's my ex. So thank you guys so much for coming to HBO Max Human by Orientation and Pride. No, I actually haven't. I've felt before, but I haven't fully. I'm bisexual. Wait, let's just redo that. When I say I'm bisexual, I would love it if you got up in the air and if you stood up and then you said, "Oh my God." Yes. Yes. And then if the other person at the table could go
Okay,
sit
pause.
down. And then you could look.
But she hasn't built a rapport with the audience yet.
She can't
can
even
you be
say the
bossing her
name
around?
of the, like, it's HBO Max Human by Orientation Pride Month comedy show. Like, it's written there in the back, and she was trying to read it, and she couldn't even read it.
Look, you don't even have to be that good. You could literally just get out there and be like, "Hello and welcome to the HBO Max
Yeah.
Pride event."
Thank you for having me,
Yeah.
and go straight into jokes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you guys going? Great. Look at this lovely couple here. Don't know, whatever.
And she's already said
You
she's
have one of those-
bisexual as well. She said, I'll put it up front, I'm very much bisexual. But obviously she didn't get the response that she wanted. And now she wants this.
Yeah, and you get out there and you make a joke about yourself first.
Yeah.
So you can start making jokes about other people.
Exactly right. Exactly. More? You're loving this?
Yeah.
It's great.
Like a classic joke
Get them
there
and just be
Yeah.
would be something like, "Oh, look, I've got these wide birth hips, but God didn't make me that way."
Yeah. Good. Good one. Simple.
Like hilarious. I know.
like, literally, I did nothing wrong. I'm supporting her. And then you go, how do you even know it's a her? She hasn't said her pronouns yet.
All right, stop.
Okay.
Stop.
So
Or you say, "I'm bi," which means I'm twice as lucky to get a date tonight.
See? Simple.
That's the thing. I'm not even a comedian, and I'm smashing this.
I'm Megan Salter. I'm bisexual. You seem sarcastic, so we're just gonna move on. That was weird, right? You're not allowed to talk into the mic.
She has I don't know. I'm gonna. You made fun of my height, something physical appearance thing that I can't change. She definitely has a hump when she walks. Like, it's like, I'm gonna take it back like 2 seconds. Look at this hump when she walks.
We're just gonna move on. That was weird, right? You're not allowed
See
to talk
it?
into the mic. No,
Yeah.
I am bisexual, but I am married to a tall drink.
She thinks
But
she's
I'm
killing
married to
it.
a tall drink of water back there. Don't film him. Mark, my baby. Don't look behind. Mark. I love you. And I love you and I like you. Mark decided to come even though I asked him not to, and he's everyone's quiet like, is she serious? He's standing back there. Don't look at him, please. I know you're looking. But Mike, when he saw what I was wearing, he was like, "Oh my God, girlfriend, what the heck are you wearing right now?" And he was like, should I pull it up? And I go,
Turch,
"You
there
want
are
to?"
comedians in this
like,
world that I don't appreciate, that I don't think are funny.
Yeah.
So let me put it this way: they're not my type of comedy, but I appreciate them because they're on stage and they've actually crafted jokes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've got a friend. We've got a friend that's a comedian that's come on the show a couple of times, and what he doesn't get the comedy special on HBO, but this girl does. He's got actual jokes written, like hosted comedy shows, introduced people, done the whole works, and this woman here, like half the words she's saying aren't even intelligent, like aren't even. They're not
Is
even
she
real
fucking
words.
drunk?
She must be.
That's what I want to know. She's got to be shit-faced.
Yeah. It feels like this is her first stand-up appearance.
I feel like
this is a open mic night, but it's not. It's HBO Max, so it's got some funding behind it. Let's listen to some more.
We would be there booing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll pull your dress. My husband said this minutes ago before I left the house. Let me pull your dress. What's under there? Big shorts? No, but I do love you. He's trying to take pictures of me. He always says that I look like a model. He's in he's in pre-med. He's law school. He's going to law school. He's pre-med. Are you even paying attention? He's pre-med. No, I'm so excited to be here tonight. I'm really excited, and this is actually my first time doing stand-up, so I'm really excited about that. It actually does look like this is the building. Like, the whole show, I was like, I'm gonna jump over there and see, but you couldn't, and I won't, and I won't. Keep the fall. At this point, they're like, maybe we should have booked.
What is her name?
I don't know. No, she is a friend of
Megan Stalter.
Megan Stalter.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
I'm gonna keep it going.
How did you find this?
Don't ask.
Keep it going.
Why do you and Jess ask the same questions?
mine though. Don't text her that I said that. I want to talk a little bit about where do you guys know me from? Don't say hacks. Anyway, I'm excited about performing. I'm excited about. Ooh, I actually look really gorgeous right now with the hair in the wind. I'm really excited to perform. I actually have a lot going on during the. I don't want to say the C word, but during quarantine. No, I'm really talented, and I kind of just discovered that. You know, I discovered a lot in the quarantine of how good I am at singing.
What the fuck?
Awkward.
Has it been 10 minutes
Okay,
yet?
you're awkward.
Okay. This is every single drunk woman at a party that when you're like 19 and just had that one too many vodka cruises, or one too many, what's it called, double vodka Smirnoff double blacks, and just thinks that everything she does is fantastic.
I'll give her that. She's 150% confidence.
It's true. And Kieran, speaking of 150% confidence, how long did you say we've been watching this now?
Have we cracked 3 minutes yet?
It's 4 minutes and 29 seconds. We can stop this whenever you want.
Episode I did with Niall.
We can do
the
this
episode I did with Niall where we didn't talk.
Here we go.
Awkward. Another thing that brought me a lot of joy during quarantine is that I'm actually working on a play. Second scream moment. It was an incredible play. It's called Who's Over There? Oh wait, that's a mirror. And we kind of were working with like 700 actors, 8,000 writers. The director was the rat from Ratatouille. I'm just so excited to be able to be in a play over Zoom. But I'm going to perform a little moment of the play, a little moment I like to call, because it's not even a full scene. You're not on a date, you're alone tonight. You're alone tonight? Sad. Hashtag sad.
Stick to a theme.
You're alone.
Stick to a topic.
Tell a
Stop being all
complete
over the
joke.
place.
You're alone tonight.
This is like comedy for someone with ADHD. It's like snippets, fragments of jokes.
Fucking schizophrenia.
Bet you wish I wasn't wearing shorts. I'm gonna perform the play then.
That was the funniest bit. That guy's face just like, bitch, just. That was funnier than her whole stand-up routine. It's like, I bet you wish I was wearing, no shorts. And the guy's like, no. Like that face of, no. Oh, here we go.
I would actually like her to wear more clothes.
Yeah, please. Please. Oh, she's going to do a scene from the Zoom play that she wrote with 8,000 writers and directed by the rat from Ratatouille.
For you, and it is, it opens up with me next to candlelight. Is this camera on? I just don't know if I fully trust it. This one's on, right? You're giving me a thumbs up. Must be on. Okay, so here's the opening part of the play. I'm not sick. I've been tested.
Turch.
New York City, 1802. Girl.
Yes, Kieran.
If I was the comedian coming on after her, I would be like, well, that was a train wreck.
Yeah. You would have the confidence of like a Muhammad Ali in his prime fighting a child.
I'd be like, I just have to stand here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I watched this. I watched some of it anyway. I haven't got through all of it because, I thought it was just heavy for the natural reactions to the podcast. But at one stage, I'm like, maybe this is like an Andy Kaufman type of deal. Right? Like maybe she's doing it. It's meant to be really uncomfortable and really bad.
I don't know. Jeffrey Epstein's dead.
No. Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, I know. Harvey. No, I'm just thinking like the guy that would make her famous. Harvey Weinstein's in jail. Jeffrey Epstein's in dead.
No, she's not attractive. She's not attractive enough to be with Harvey Weinstein. Let's face it. That's not Harvey Weinstein's type.
Mm-hmm.
And far too old for Jeffrey Epstein. Keep going. By the way, she's on the floor at the moment doing a scene from her play, and it was 1802, I think.
Sleeping in her bed. It starts to rain. She wakes up. There's Can you guys see my full ass? No. Can you? Dude, can you? Big curtain opens on a woman that's a 24. I could play 24. There's rain. Oh, I'm waking up right now. I just can't tell if the camera can get me from this angle.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, the thumbs up are being
Fuck up
sarcastic
about
now.
the camera.
Girl wakes up.
I have a feeling that they put in canned laughter like after the fact, because every time they show a shot of anybody in the audience, they're just looking in bewilderment.
Yeah, they're not laughing.
No.
Or if they are, it's when those comedians, and this is the worst joke you could do, right? She's doing even worse. But when they say the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And then they get that nervous laughter, which is like the audience like, okay, I'm laughing so you can fucking move this thing along.
It's what's happening right now. But I think they've just put it in. Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh my god, what's that sound? Knock, knock, knock. Who the heck's at my door? At this hour? It's 4:01. I better go see who it is. Walk, walk, walk. Don't forget my stairs. Door open. Creak.
Can we just see that?
Yeah, that's my fucking face. That is my face.
That face. Both of them are just like, this is.
When we're back open, we're going to watch a lot more stand-up comedy at clubs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
I want to find one of these
Oh, here we go.
in Melbourne.
Oh my god. Her ex-boyfriend's there, even though they just hooked up. It's okay that it's quiet, like it's not supposed to be funny. Oh my god. Is that Jared back for round 2? Oh my god. You seriously want to come back in after I just did it to you? Oral sex. So simple, it should be illegal. In and out, simple as day. No, this isn't right. Just scratch it. Scratch it. You guys don't like plays. You literally don't. I'm kidding. Leave that in because I just feel like my dad would like that part. Or that might have beat bop bop. No, I'm kidding. Well, I do want to talk a little bit about
every time they show the audience, it's the most. It's just nothing. Just complete silence from the audience and bewilderment. I love it. All right, I want to watch more. Do you want to watch more?
Yeah, keep going.
We'll try to make it to the 10-minute mark. We've got 2 minutes for the 10-minute mark.
I didn't just do a play or learn how to sing. During quarantine, I actually wrote a book. Let's try that again, and you guys scream really loud. Just
How
one
will they not
person
walk
said
out?
yes. Little Miss Water Table, you gotta scream, okay? So I wrote a book. Wait, and I kind of wanted to say it right into the camera, if that's okay.
Fucking hell.
So
I need to
wrote
drink
a
more
book
fucking scotch.
during quarantine and then zip around to them. Okay, this is how I think it'd be funny. I look into the camera, I go, and I wrote a book. And then you zip around, everyone's standing up cheering. Okay, so singing's not the only thing I did during in quarantine. I also wrote a book. Guys, settle down. You guys know that in 2013, I wrote a book called Big Gay Girl, where I was exploring being gay. Then a couple weeks later, I wrote Never Mind, I'm Straight. And then, of course,
The guy just taking a swig of water.
you know,
Did you see
things
that?
happen, and I realized
There we go.
I'm bi. And I wrote a book called Maybe She's Born With It, Maybe She's Bi. And that's not all, and that's not the punchline, so I don't care that you guys didn't laugh. I also am kind of a relationship guru. After giving to everyone, I realized I wanted to give back to everyone. Sorry that you're not on a date. You can't really do the stuff we're going to talk about right now, but maybe, I don't know, Match.com or something. So, right now I want to read a book that I'm working on right now called Stupid Stinky Love. That's a funny title! Oh, I wouldn't get that!
When you talk to the audience,
but
Turch,
yeah, so
when you talk to the audience, first of all, you need to ask them their name, what do they do? You need to have a little bit of an interaction.
Yeah.
In other words, you need to gain their permission before you insult them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the
can't
master
just-
of that, I feel the master of that is Jimmy Carr. Like, you know, when you go to his show, it's going to be dirty, filthy, and this and that. But he, like, the banter is back and forth, and people understand that. The people at this show are just like, oh, look, we're going to do it. We're supporting the gays and the pride people. We're just going to do a little bit of gay comedy. We're going to listen to about sucking penises, licking vaginas. But this girl's come out and said, ha, you're single in the corner over there. Fuck you. That's not
Like
funny.
a funny,
It's not
a funny joke. Like if she had developed a sort of that mini rapport with him, you know, you're straight, gay, bi. Oh, straight. Well, you know, maybe you should be bi. Then you'd be on a date tonight.
Yeah.
Or jump across to the other side. You know, I'll set you up with my best friend backstage. Like that.
And then like go something like, oh, no, you're too cute for them, or something like that.
Yeah.
Sort of go give it
yeah.
back, you know. All right, another little bit, and then I'm gonna call it quits. I'm actually really, it's hurting.
It is
I'm
hurting so
going to
much.
read a little bit to you guys, so I'm just going to make the mic bigger really quick. Actually, this is pretty good, though. So I'm just going to read a piece of the book. This is actually really helpful just because people are so often so... What if I threw up? People are so often just totally enamored with people's bodies, people's looks, people's personalities. What about people's smells? Or reading it. Chapter 6. What's that smell? Was that you? What if this was 2 hours?
The audience's faces are just priceless. They're just.
And
Oh my god.
And with that, Kieran, I think we're going to wrap up the show because I physically feel sick from watching all this. Ladies and gentlemen, for all your wanking needs, make sure you follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you'd like to send us some hate mail, a death threat, or a rant, or a video of comedy equally as bad or worse, send it to us at weonlydoontakepodcast@gmail.com. Kieran, so good to have you on the show, doing the show again. Cannot wait to have you back in the studio, buddy.
I'm looking forward to getting back into the studio.
And
I
we will
cannot
see,
wait.
and we'll see you next Thursday.
Come on, man. Motherfuckers, guys, come on. Give me the 5-star rating, baby. Give me the 5-star. That's all I want, baby. That's all I want. I'll fuck all the beautiful girls in the goddamn world. They'll fuck a 10-star. I just want 5. 5, baby. Just 5.